All right, Hallie, you ready? The Jason and Hallie Show! Pandemic Edition.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hi, this is Jason.
And Hallie.
Welcome back to The Year I Got the Runs. Okay, we're moving on to Lance. Now, I know Lance from the trail run community. Would you or have you ever run an ultra, 50 miler, or 100 miler? So thank you, Lance. I think you probably know the answer to this, but I will mention it for everyone else. I am considered an ultra runner because I've run a 50K. This year, as I mentioned in last week's video, I was going to actually attempt to run a 42.42 mile Pi Day River rotation race, which unfortunately had to get canceled. Well, it's turned the half marathon I was signed up for has turned into a virtual, so I'm going to run that. I have to run it by a week from tomorrow, so I better get on it. What about you?
Technically, yes, I have.
I didn't know this.
And I'm not trying to start an argument about what constitutes an ultra run.
I won't argue.
Because as it was explained to me, anything beyond 26.2 is considered an ultra. So
yeah,
the sky is the limit as far as that is concerned.
I agree with that.
So a unique option they have if you do the Route 66 marathon in Tulsa is you can take a detour called the Center of the Universe detour, which I opted to do, and I can't remember exactly how much it adds, but it's maybe like a tenth of a mile, which might be the point of contention of saying whether or not I'm an ultra runner. But technically, because I took that detour where there's this spot that you stand on, and then because of the acoustics and the architecture, you can hear everything all around you. It's a really cool little spot. You get a additional coin to put with your medal for that race. And so because I did that, yes, I have done it.
There you go. That's cool. I did not know that, and I do consider you an ultra runner, even if it's only 1/10 of a mile beyond a full marathon. Okay. Why don't you read the next one?
Alrighty. Brian Jones asks, how do you decide your race schedule? Do you plan for the entire year?
Okay. Good question, Brian. Now, I know Brian from Blackman Run Kansas City, and he's such a great guy, and I appreciate you putting this question in there because I can be pretty anal about my race planning, and unfortunately I moved my computer over there, so I'll put a screen here showing you what I do. But I have spreadsheets all the way back when I started running in 2015 in one Google Doc, and the way I have it set up is I have the year at the top left corner. I have the months and the races that I'm going to be running. And then as you go across, it shows the cost of the race, and then it continues and shows that same race that I've run over the years and the finish times that I've had. Right now I can see 5 years worth of finish times. And then I also show if I've PR'd, and then if you go down to the bottom of the spreadsheet, I total out how many miles I've run that year and how much money I've spent, which a lot of people I've talked to don't want to know how much money they've spent. And finally, I'll put off to the side if I've placed in my age group. So
time out.
Yes.
Time out.
Yes.
For somebody who doesn't want to do all the work to make playlists for songs and be super organized,
right,
that is an enormous amount of effort.
It is, but it's a different side of the brain. It's a very technical side of the brain, and it's so the people that know me well know that I'm in marketing. So my right brain, my artistic side, is very strong. But I also have a dual personality where I can be really anal because I really also wanted to be an architect for most of my life. So numbers, charts, and being able to compare is really interesting to me. My dog too. There's some bikes going by. Warren! He's deaf, so he didn't hear me. But it's also, I hate to say it, but it's an ego boost because I can see all the races I've run. I can see all my finish times. I can see all my PRs. And that's probably, if I'm being completely honest with you all, the real reason. But, Brian, to really answer your question, I guess it's your next question, so I'm going to jump ahead. I'm sorry, Hallie. The reason I do that is because it really allows me to plan my year basically at one time. So in January, using the prior year's spreadsheet, I know what races will run basically on what day of the year. And so if a new race pops up, or if I'm going on vacation, or if something is coming, I can look and see if there's a conflict. I also have the URLs in this spreadsheet. So I know it's really smart, isn't it? So the URLs are there, so I can easily. Warren! I wish you weren't deaf. Pause. It's also an easy way for me to stay very organized with my year-long race schedule.
I don't plan for the year. This might make me sound lazy, but I don't have to because he does. And we are already doing a lot of the same races anyway.
But you're also really big into social media, and so you keep track of races on social media.
I do. And I'll say that's one thing I do that's different from Jason. If a race has a social media account, I certainly follow it. And if there's an event on Facebook, I put at least that I'm interested, if not going. And Jason really doesn't do that. But for me, it's super convenient way to like, oh, there's a reminder and there's the directions, or like, here's the packet pickup info or weather changes or whatever. Yeah. So that's something I do. I will say though, I have a spreadsheet. I do.
Ooh, spreadsheet.
I do have a spreadsheet.
Tell me more.
This one is for tracking my 50 states.
Okay.
Which I wasn't originally doing in addition to my regular spreadsheet that I haven't updated in a really long time, but I will so I can get you some data. I do have one for the 50 states, which tracks all the races that I have done, the specific states that I know there's a race I want to run, and about what time of year it is, and then states where I need to pick a race, because I realized as I was getting more done, and I had done almost all the races I could drive to on a weekend in the Midwest, that I needed to start paying attention, because I'd get down to, say I only had a few states left, but there's Rhode Island maybe only has 1 or 2 races, or a smaller place, that I'd get down to the end and it would take me a while to finish because there would be conflicts or lack of races in those states. So I am tracking that kind of closely just so that I can plan moving forward, because, you know, although I plan on running my entire life, I don't want to be like 99 going, oh my God, how am I going to get the 50th state in?
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that about your little spreadsheet. 2 things I'm going to throw out there. 1, Hallie, can I please show them the 50 states image that I put together for you? So every time Hallie runs a 50 state marathon, I update an image I created for her, which she then posts on her social media. And I'm also going to throw this out to you all. If you're interested in my spreadsheet that I showed you earlier, I did create a generic one that is in Google Docs, and if you let me know below, I can make it available to you so you can download it into an Excel file, or I think you can resave it as your own Google Doc. And it's set up exactly how I showed you mine is, where it calculates miles, the money you've spent. It's pretty cool. So just let me know in the comments below and I can do that.
Very generous of you.
And I'll do it for you even though I'm pretty sure you won't take me up on it.
You shared it with me before, and the reason I haven't used it is most of my day is spent on the computer for work, and my work computer does not allow me to access shared files
Mm-hmm.
on the net. So that is why I have not taken advantage up to this point, because I'm prohibited from accessing it, and also because I spend most of the day on the computer for work. I try to not do that.
She has high clearance.
I don't know about all that.
She has high clearance. More so than I do. I have no clearance. Thank you to everyone who watched. I hope you enjoyed the series. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
The Jason and Hallie Show.
Pandemic edition.
Wah, wah.